um ask I go up to a person, I text the person, I hit them up, and I just say, hey, would you like to join me on my Instagram live session?
Guys, the prompt is the next thing. If you're not on, get on, okay?
Emotional intelligence to you.
Oh my gosh, I wrote this definition. Yo, LJ Mojo. If y'all do not know who LJ Mojo is, he is a Zambian artist, amazing hip hop artist. You guys should listen to his EP. I think it's a mixtape called "Is African." Him and I are actually supposed to talk about emotional intelligence. So depending on when you people see this, you should come listen. I'm even reluctant to talk about it because I want you guys to hear it. But in a nutshell,
Yeah.
I wish I had my book where I wrote the definition, but what I would like to say is emotional intelligence helps you as a person control how you react to certain situations.
Yeah.
And that is extremely important. I don't have to say much from there. Our own minds can expand, but how we react to situations again will distinguish you from greatness and, whatever it is. So, yeah.
And yeah, just to touch up on that would be that, you know, emotional intelligence is not only in like overall, there are also certain aspects that, you know, you need to focus on. And, you know, that's for you to find out and for us to help you go into that direction, you know. And going
Yeah.
to, uh-huh.
One thing about emotional intelligence, again, I think I've repeated this over and over, is self-awareness. Because and you'll notice a pattern in this discussion, everything begins with you. Like the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step. Everything begins with you. So one big thing that to note about emotional intelligence is you have to be aware that you have a problem or you have a trauma or something needs to change. You have to grow. When it comes to, think of a building, for it to be better, certain things have to be torn down. So if it means stopping to harbor, that means you have to let go, But to let go, you have to be aware of the problem. So to gain emotional intelligence, the first thing out of a lot of things is self-awareness.
Yeah, no, that's good, you know. And when you also get that figured out, obviously you cannot get it figured out in a year. It's a lifelong journey, you know. And obviously, the
Yeah.
more you love yourself, the more you want out of life. And you know, you had a topic on saying like getting what you want or going in that direction. So will you please teach us today? We're learning.
Oh, so that one was that I did that one with Koziani.
Mm-hmm.
He's a brilliant man. He's had so much to say because it dealt also with leadership. I must say that topic was a little bit more controversial because it was more of a rain check rather than an encouragement session. What it is, oh yeah, well that no, that's leadership. But getting to know what you want, principles of knowing what you want, my goodness, was actually done with Chaba. Oh, you see how many lives I've done so far, mixing them up, but they're all like interrelated. Knowing what you want. For me, what stood out from that topic is from you have to understand the difference between a need and a want. As a want is something short term. A need is a requirement for you to survive. It is a necessity. So a lot of the times we know we want a new bag, but do we need a new bag? We know we want to be in a relationship, but do we need to be in a relationship? That's the first step, because once you understand the difference between your wants and your needs, you'll know what to prioritize in your life for your growth. Set goals. For you to attain anything, set goals. I always tell people, have a goal, and that goal should lead to your vision. People always think of, vision, one whole thing. but have a goal that will lead you to your vision. I always like this. There was this diagram I saw. There were two ladders. One had a lot of let me say steps, right, stacked closely together. The other had fewer steps spaced apart. Yeah. So this guy was standing, and when you see more steps, you think, oh, more energy, more time. It's a lot of work. But when you look at the image of the fewer steps, it's actually it's harder to reach the next step because of that huge gap in between the step you're on and the step that's coming. So a goal a goal, when you set a goal for yourself every month or every year, that year, that those goals, and let me put it like this: you could have a goal for every year for the next 5 years, and you say on the 6th year, this is my vision, right? So in your year one, you could even have goals for every month. In that month, you could have minor goals like, okay, for this week, I'll make my bed. I'll make my bed every day for this week. It's very small, but you're developing a habit, because by the end of that week, the following week, you just have the urge to make your bed. You've gained some. You could, for the following week, you say, I want to drink water this entire week, every day, 8 glasses of water every day for an entire week. By the end of 2 weeks, you will have the urge to drink water. Those are minor goals in your month, but you have your set goal in your particular month, right? So you have your weekly goals, but then you have that particular goal in your month. You do that for every single month. You have achieved a huge just goal in 1 year, and you do that for the next 6 years. All those tiny things, like making your bed, you learn discipline, drinking water, you're taking care of yourself inside out, saying I'll let go of a certain pain, I'll practice 21 days, something. You are teaching yourself so many things in these little things. By the time you're in your 5th year, it will be so easy for you to be extremely committed, because you can even put those wants into like those weekly goals. I want to attain this, but you need to have accomplished a certain thing in a month. That's how you can literally go about it. By the time you're reaching your 6th year, best believe if it's by divine will, you will have attained whatever it is. Not to say that you can't fail, because failure is also part of the steps we need to grow, because we learn lessons and we acquire knowledge. So that's a big part of knowing what you want. Distinguish, make a difference between your wants and your needs. Set goals because you want to reach a vision. Accept failure. You need to fail, because just like the diagram I explained, I talked about, if you don't fail, if you don't set goals, if you don't grow, it will be harder for you to get to where you want, later on in life. So that's for me what I took from the principles of knowing what you want, among other things.
Definitely, and it's not only like, you doing it on your own. That's why we have a community like the Prompt. We learn from everywhere. We take pieces from here and here. So like she gave the example of stairs, right? When you're doing it on your own, it's those huge stairs. But then when you're doing it with other people, it's step by step by step by step. You may not see it now, but when you look back, you'll be like, okay, that is good. So
Exactly.
yeah. So what do you plan to do in the future with your program or in life? Like for 2021.
That's a good question. I need to check myself, because I did this like, oh, this is just my thing, but I definitely need like a goal for it. Ish, I want it to grow. I want it to be big and to have a positive impact on somebody. One thing I can say is I already looked at the calendar, and we have 52 Sundays in 2021. So expect 52 lives. That's a step.
It will happen.
So from those 52 lives, it would be, look, just in the few, I think 10 lives, I've been exposed to an amazing person like you, Blessings, on this amazing show. So to get on a bigger platform and still be able to invite ordinary people like me, and we talk about these things and it actually helps people, that would be everything.
Okay, so we have come at the end of this show, and is there anything you want to say, like, to anybody who's maybe struggling or want to do better for themselves?
It's okay to cry. Cry it out. It's okay to fail. You're going to get up. Don't stay down. It might be hard for you at the moment. Breathe. You got this. You can do it. Keep going. And the world needs you. Don't die.
Yeah, one more thing is that, when she's talking about crying, I never really cried, like, except for when you're a child and stuff, right? The time that I cried was when I was 19, right? So when I lost my granddad, like, that broke me, that day I actually cried and it helped. So, if you cannot cry now, you will one day, but don't feel like you're weird or something. No, it's perfectly normal. Maybe even when you're 60, or you may never cry, but we deal with things in a different way. So where can
Yeah.
people reach you?
Pardon?
Where can people reach you?
I'm shy. Okay. You can find me on Instagram at Tahila15. Leave your comments. I will respond to as many as I can. Feel free to DM me if you want me to talk about a specific topic or talk about the topic with me. You are welcome. It's a free space. That's Tahila15 on Instagram. And on Facebook, it's Tahila Tasheni. I'm the Sunflower Empress, you guys. So yeah, thank you for having me, the prompt.
Yeah. So, with that said, we want to thank you for coming here and keep doing what you're doing, because, maybe some of us are not affected by some of the things, but at least we are aware to help the ones that we love,
Yeah, exactly.
So anyone
The
who
domino.
yeah, anyone who wants to be like Tahila or something, just DM me or send me a message or send her a message and make a difference, because we can never do it on our own.